Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. I can see my camera needs adjusting. Let's do that. Sorry about that. How is everyone going? Let's move that down a bit. There we go. Perfect. How's everyone going? Thanks for tuning in. Today I will be continuing the hide and seek game slash mechanics that I've been working on. Last week we just added a RNG system to pick a random player between 1 and 20 and make them pick up a pickable from a asset spawner. Once it's picked, it will turn it off, so that way the RNG can't spawn a second one and stop the RNG from rolling. So if I just, excuse me, if I hop in, I have the local number 1, RNG is 0. When I walk over here, the RNG system kicks in, and when it lands on our number, it's relevant to the player in the experience. It will spawn on top of them. And now we've got this thing that the player who has been chosen to be a seeker is holding. This item will allow for different abilities to be used, and also the capturing of the hiders by sending out a message in front of them. And once that message is tagged to the hider, a message should be sent by the hider to their asset spawner to also bring out one for them. I don't know how that's going to work, but we'll work it out. Let me just tab over here. So thanks for tuning in. Already got a question. Where is the octopus? I have no idea. I have no idea what that means, or what octopus you're referring to. But I'm going to say in the ocean is where the octopus is. All right, so where do we go from here? Okay, so let's go to presets, and these are the presets we've been using to attach to the avatar. It's using tags A1. If we do 20 for player 20, it has a tag A20, so it's all to do with the tag. We can send a message when picked up, and we can send a message when dropped. So when picked up, we could send a message that triggers the ability for that person to be the seeker. So when that's picked up, it sends a message to the rule system, which turns them into a seeker, and it changes a variable, and that variable will allow them to use abilities that the seeker will have. See if we can kind of work on that today. Let's see if this actually does work as intended. So I think the next one that will spawn is player 2. So we'll go ahead and do player 2, and we can say seeker as the message. And we can do it for player 1 as well. And what we can do once we do seeker, we'll save over the preset. So for H1 and H2, now they are seeker, and we should send a message to the rules and also add a variable to show that they are a seeker. So we'll go variable, we'll add a number, call it seeker, and we'll make it local. And what we can do here is we can display the seeker, and if the number is 0, they're not a seeker, and if they are a seeker, it will be 1. So we can go ahead and add a math rule, and we'll just move this down over here. So when the message seeker is sent, we're going to go ahead and take the variable local, and we're going to add 1 to get the local variable of seeker. Now, because we are getting a result for the local, it needs a player action, and I'm hoping the pickable is the action that's needed for that to work. We can also use a different rule, so we can say set number value, And if we get the message seeker, we can get the seeker to be the value of 1. So either one of these will work. You don't need the math rule. You can do the set value. So either one should work. Now when we send, if we play a 2 and we send a message to RNG, and the RNG picks something up, it should change our seeker to 1. And it does not. So we've picked up number 2 and no message was sent to turn the seeker into the value of 1. I just want to double check the rules that I have done that. Yes, seeker is the message. So we can now say that when this is picked up, there is not sending a message, and that's because it's sending to everyone in range. We need to send it to all. So that's the thing we need to do for it to work. So I'll make that happen for player 3, because the next test we're going to do, we're going to be player 3. So we'll go ahead and pick that up. We're going to put in the value, the message seeker, and make that all. And we'll go ahead and save that one. And then we'll test it out. So we'll press tab. So now we'll do a RNG system. And now we've picked it up, and you can see now our seeker value is 1. Now that our seeker value is 1, we can add abilities to it. So if we want to capture somebody in front of us, or do a speed boost, or slow players around us down so we can catch them, things like that can be done with this seeker being a value of 1, and also using hotkeys like 1, 2, and 3 to do abilities. So the next one we're going to be testing is number 4. So let's make some adjustments to number 4, and we'll add some rules and see it in action. So we want to send a message seeker to all. We want to save this as a preset. Cool. Now to have abilities, right? So what we can do here is we need a front for the asset. So I'll go ahead and add a numpad, just a regular numpad. And we got h4, and we'll call this one h4 num for h4 numpad. And what we can do is we'll bring this down a bit to about here, and we'll go ahead and parent that. So we'll type in h4, and we'll parent the numpad to this, so that way it moves with it. And then we can go ahead and add things to this. So we can have a message broadcast, and that message broadcast will be listening for 1. So 1 will be broadcast type. We can do everyone in range. So we can do everyone in range to be faster. So we can say 2 for this one, maybe even 2.5. And what we can do here is speed. And the speed we can say increase by 30% for 5 seconds. Something like that, right? You can even do specific tags in range, and we got individual tags as well. So if we wanted to be player 4, our tag is 4. So if we want to make sure it just targets the right player, you can just say specific tags in range and then have tag 4. And that will only do it for this avatar specifically. So if you have multiple people near each other, it won't give everybody speed. To activate this though, we need to do a hotkey, and that hotkey is 1. So what we can do here is we can add a new rule, and that is triggers. and that is key input. The key we want to push down is 1, and the message we want to send is 1. And we basically want to do this for, I don't know, 3 or 4 keys, depending on how many abilities that you want to do. But we also want to put this through a filter. So what we can do here is we can say the message is P1 for push 1, push 2, and push 3. And what we can do here is do a comparison like what we've done here. You can compare numbers and send a message based on what number value is of the seeker. So give you an example. We'll go ahead and send a message P1, and we want to compare the seeker, and if the seeker is equal to 1, we can send a message player 4 push 1. Maybe that's too confusing. Player 4 push 1. So if you push 1 on the keyboard, it will compare your seeker number. If it equals 1, it will send a message player 1 push 1. And then what you do here is duplicate this, and if it equals 2, you can do player 2 push 1, because this is all based on the first key. And as you get more complicated, you want to make sure you can simplify these rules as much as you can, but all of that will be easier to manage in future Game Maker updates. So we'll do one more here to get the 4th player in. So we'll do player 4 push 1, and now when we push 1, it will compare. If our seeker number is 4, it will send a message player 4 push 1. So we can do that here. Player 4 push 1, and then we can do speed, and our speed will increase for 5 seconds. We'll go ahead and save this as the preset and test it out to see if this actually works, because that was just a theory. Now we need to see if it actually works with testing. Okay, so we should be player 4 now. We've got the local number 4. Let's do the RNG. We have 4. Now you can see the numpad's at the back, so I've got it the wrong way around. But if I push 1, does it give me my speed? Or am I out of range? So no speed is coming out of that one. So we'll go back and investigate, see what's going on. And then we'll need to do this for number 5. So we'll bring this out for number 4 again, and then we can duplicate it and save over number 5. So what we want to do is bring this on this side, and we'll just double check. So it is covering the area. Specific tags is 4. Maybe we can do everyone in range and see if that actually makes a difference. And this might not actually work, but we'll test it out and see if it does. You may need direct interaction. I thought the key might be direct interaction. What we can do here to test as well is we'll set up some messages to see if the message is actually being sent out when a button is pushed. So we pushed 1. It checks if we're 5. We're going to do player 5 push 1. And what we can do here is we'll put it into this. And what we can do is have a speaker to see if this message is actually being sent. So we'll have that, and we'll have that as a message as well. So when it's triggered, it will display for 5 seconds. We can also duplicate and just have P1 to see if P1 works as well. We'll save this one as H5. So in the next test we do, we're going to be player 5. So we'll make sure we're getting the right thing, and hopefully that works. Now, for a you guys that don't know, the difference with variables is local and global, LNG. Global means that everyone has the same number and everyone will be able to see the same number if you bring it out on the HUD. If you do local, local is an individual player's score, and if you bring that up on a HUD, they'll see their score, not everyone else's that has a local. So local is literally your score, and global is everyone's. All right, we're going to tab, check it out, see if it works. We should be player 5. Awesome. All right, we got number 5. I'll pick it up and press 1, and you can see player 1 worked, so that's good. But there's an issue. See, I made a mistake. That's why it's not working. So I have seeker. It's comparing a local variable seeker, and seeker is not valued at 5. It's always valued at 1. 1. So maybe I need to have the local number be compared, because that is the player number. So if I push 1 and my local number is 1, then it will send that out, because we're looking for seeker here, not local. So this is the difference why it's not sending out. So let's try that again. So we've got local, this one's going to be 6. I'm going to say player 6.p1. We'll go ahead and add that in, and then we will go ahead and we know P1 works. It didn't reach this one here, so this is how we know where it broke down. And we can bring out H5. And we'll change this one to player 6. And this one here should all be the same. A6. So I need to change that on the 5th one, which is why it didn't attach to the player when it spawned, because it was a wrong tag. But let's go ahead and test this one out now. Go ahead and save that. Hey, Skate Room, how's it going? Good morning to you too. So now when I pick this up, I should be able to press 1 and get a speed boost. There is my pickable, and now when I press 1, you can see my speed has increased for 5 seconds. And then it disappears. And I slow down, I push 1 again, my speed is increased again for 5 seconds. So the seeker, it will have a cooldown, so they can't do this non-stop, because I can spam 1 and just have unlimited speed. But the idea is to have a burst that might be a 20-second cooldown or something like that, so it's only used sparingly. You can see the 30% speed is spamming and I'm not even pushing it. There we go. So if I spam 1 a few times, it shows the animation for each time that I push it. All right, well that works, right? So that's good. Now we can give the Seeker some abilities like improve speed, and we can put that on a cooldown as well. So if we bring out number 6, and what we can do for a cooldown is we have toggle, and we can toggle it off with speed. Because we got everyone in range, it can toggle itself off with speed. And what we could do is toggle it on with speed cooldown. So the cooldown, when it's done, we'll toggle it back on. So what we can do here is we can duplicate. A good thing about duplicating a child on the parent is that it sticks. You don't have to reparent it. So it makes things faster and easier. And what I can do here is have a timed behavior. And we can wait for the message speed. And we can broadcast to everyone in range, which is 3, and say after 20 seconds or 15 seconds, we can say speed cooldown. So now I can make this tag A7, and we'll make this one A7, and we'll change this one here so it sends the right message from the rules. So we've got player 7.p1, and I will add that to the rules. So if my player number is 7, we'll go ahead and send that message, and we will save this preset so it has our new settings. Delete this and save, and now test. And now we should have an ability to press 1 to give us a speed boost for 5 seconds, and then not be able to use it again for 15 seconds. So that way abilities have cooldowns and they're individualized as well. So we are on number 7. We are doing the RNG. 7 has been selected. I'll push 1, and you can see I've got a speed. And now I'll push it again. You can see the message has been sent, but it's not giving me a speed boost, as you can see. And now if I push it again, there is my speed boost, because 15 seconds is up. Push it again, and it doesn't do it. So now we have a 5-second speed boost with a 15-second cooldown. I can change that to 20 seconds, 30 seconds, anything like that. It's quite easy to do. Just change one variable. So this will allow the speaker to catch up faster. Cool. Cool. We also want to regulate the speed. We don't want sprint to work. We just want it to be 1 speed. So we can just go to player, and because we've got custom avatar, we can go ahead and change the variables here. They're normally locked, but when you have a custom avatar, these are unlocked. We can get rid of oxygen, swimming, all that stuff. We don't need that. And then here's our run speed, walk speed, all that stuff. So if I can go ahead and change that value to be the value of run and sprint and slide, that will make things even. So when we now sprint, we shouldn't gain any speed, but when we do the speed boost, we will gain speed. So this stops having 3 different speed variables: the players that hold shift, the players that don't, and then the speed boost. So we'll go ahead and get number 7 out, and we're going to change this to 8, and we'll test this out. So we're kind of making alterations as we go along, and when we have our perfect one, we can go back and save over all the presets. So that is player 8. It's got our 8 tag, excellent. We'll go ahead and add our comparison to check for player number 8. We'll go ahead and add that in as well. And we'll save over this preset. Just like that. And let's save and see if that speed limitation works and if the speed boost does in fact give you a speed boost with these limitations that we put on the speed of the player. All right, tap in now for a test. So we should be player 8. You can see we are really slow. So this is as fast as we can go, even when we're holding shift. So it's slower than expected. But let's go ahead and see if it does in fact increase our speed regardless. All right, so we got our speed. If we push 1, it does. So if I push 1 again, nothing happens. You can see the trail. I'll go straight so we can see clear differences. It definitely gives a speed boost, but not enough to make a difference because I think the walk speed is too slow. So let's see if we can speed that up a bit. So that's under player. And I thought the walk speed and a run speed will be the same, but it doesn't look like it is. So what we'll do here is maybe we can make that the same. Something like that, right? And hopefully that makes a bit of a difference. I'll test it out without doing player number 9 just to see if it actually works. Hey Tempest, thanks for the raid. Hope everything's well. Yes, indeed. Welcome. Good to have yous. Basically, I'm showing how to create abilities for people with cooldown. In this case, we're making a hide and seek game, so we want a seeker to have the ability to have a small speed boost for 5 seconds and then not be able to use that again, as it will be on cooldown. And we kind of got that working, which is good. And now we're just adjusting the speeds of the players, so sprint and running is exactly the same. So there is no speed difference there. So when you actually do get a speed boost, it is actually in fact faster for that player without the need of holding down shift. So we got that, that's good. And we'll go ahead and make us player 10. So this one's player 9, player 10, and we can go ahead and say player 9.p1. So when you push 1, that will happen. And when you push 1, 10 will be sprinting. We need to save this as a preset. So I'll go ahead and save that. And then we will delete this preset. We'll save and we'll test it out. So basically now we will be pushing number 1 on the mouse or keyboard, wherever you got number 1, and we should get a 30% speed boost. And only us, not every other player. And it will be on cooldown. So let me just go ahead and pick this up. All right, so we got our speed. I'll walk a straight line so you can see the speed difference. So I'm walking, and when I push 1, it goes a bit faster. And you can see in the top left corner, there's a 5-second cooldown, and now we're slowed down. And when I push 1 again, you can see it's not working. The message is actually being sent, as you can see by the speaker, but no speed boost until the 15 seconds is up. So that will now give our seeker an ability to catch hiders that have been found but are running away. And you might need a little bit of a speed boost to catch them. So that is the first part done. All right, next we need to have an ability to capture people and turn them into seekers with you. So this one's going to be a bit tricky. May need the rest of the stream to get this working, I think. But we'll give it a shot, see how it goes. So we'll go ahead and duplicate this numpad because it's already attached to the parent. So if we move the parent around, you can see all three of them are still attached. And now we need an ability that we can either shoot something ahead of us, and when it hits another player, it can slow them down, or capture them, whatever we want to do in that case. So I'll probably duplicate this one, because this one already has a message broadcaster, and this is the one we probably need the most. So we can do push 2 now. So if we want to do player 11 push 2, and when we push 2 on a keyboard, we can activate a different ability here. We don't need a toggle for this one. Oh, we probably do, but we don't need that message. We'll need a whole new set. And we probably don't need a message broadcaster in this case. Maybe. We could have a projectile. And when a projectile hits someone, it can send a message to slow them down, something like that. So let's go ahead and see if we can have the trajectory to go straight. Here we go. If we can have a speed. Maybe it needs to go all the way. So that way, when the player shoots, it just goes down after a while. So it's meant to be targeting players that are relatively close. We can do that with, we don't need a toggle on this. So this one here needs to be a separate asset. So what I can do here, it's attached to the parent, but we want to unlink it. So what we can do here is go to our hierarchy. We can right click and ungroup. And now it's ungrouped. And that's the easiest way to unlink things. Cool. And then we're going to save this as an individual preset. And then spawn this one out. So we want to have a, we'll probably need to edit logic to see our settings. Collision. Collision target is, we can do specific tags or all, or a specific team. We want it to destroy it after it's collided with something. And the message we want to send is speed. And the speed will be -30. And they can be slow for 5 seconds. So now the seeker has the ability to speed themselves up and can shoot something to slow someone else down. And the broadcast type will be whoever it has been collided with. So if you hit a certain player with it, they will slow down. And then we can go ahead and save this. We'll call this a slow projectile. And now we can duplicate another asset that's attached to our box. And we can have an asset spawner. And it can be player 10-.push2. We want to use a preset. We want to do it more than once. And we just want the projectile. And we probably want to shoot it in front a little bit so it doesn't hit us as a player. So maybe something like that to prevent collisions too early as well. And that should be fine. And that's all in the one. And we probably want to put a toggle on this too, like a cooldown, so we can add the toggle back on. And we can have it turn off with this message. So message required. If we turn it off straight away though, I don't know if it will shoot because it will turn off at the same time. So what I can do here is have a speaker, and the speaker will be the same message. Oops, that's not it. And that one will be the same message, player 10, push 2. And we can turn this one off as well. So we'll send a message to turn off slow shot. And we want to send it to everyone in range. And that's just in our small bubble. And what we're doing here is we're turning this one off. So after it shoots, it sends a message to the speaker. The speaker then sends a message to turn it off, so that way it's not happening in the same message. So we don't risk not shooting the bullet. Once it's turned off, we need to have a countdown to turn it back on again. We can turn off collisions for this as well. And what we want here is to have the message turn off slow. And after say 6 seconds or 7 seconds, we can turn on slow shot. And now we can have the ability to turn this back on. And yeah, now we have the ability to shoot people and slow them down. This one here is player 11, I think. Did I do player 10 for this? I did player 10. So what we're going to do is just change it to player 11. Player 11 P1, and that's to slow it down. And this one here should be player 11 as well. This one's player 11 P2. And that should go here as well. And this is all fine. And we'll just make sure it's the right tag for A11 and that it's named correctly, H11. It is. So we'll go ahead and save that. Cool. I think I still need to put in the key input for 2 and push 2 in the rule system. And then that should allow the projectile to shoot. So we've got player 10, we can go ahead here and do player 11, player 11.p1, and we want to duplicate this one and bring that underneath. And this one here will be P2. And if we are 11, we're going to send a message player 11 P2. And P2 is sent from the key input when you push 2 on the keyboard. All right, let's save and test this out and see if we get the desired result. Should be good. So we'll press tab. All right, so we're player 11. Let's go trigger the RNG system. All right, we've got 11. Excellent. If we push 1, we've got our speed increase. So there's our first ability. If we push 2, we have the ability to shoot. As you saw that, I can't shoot another one for 7 seconds. I'm spamming number 2. and it doesn't turn back on. Number 1 works. I must have made a mistake with number 2. Oh, no, there it is. I was able to shoot that, so that's fine. Maybe it's just a real long 7 seconds, but there we go. So we got 2 abilities now for the Seeker. We have our speed increase, and we have our shooting that slows, and they both got cooldowns, and they're individual timers. So I can have shorter cooldown for shooting and longer cooldown for speed. Cool. So far so good. Next, we want to have the ability to capture someone. So if we capture someone, we want to be able to turn them into a Seeker as well. So this part is the tricky part. Because what we've done here is we've toggled it off. And what we can do is toggle it on when a game begins. So if a player has been chosen, so there's an RNG gap, spawn Seeker 20, RNG gap, and then the RNG gap goes here, I think. RNG gap, RNG, perfect. And where does the spawn come from? So that's a message broadcaster. That's a message broadcaster. This is the asset spawner. So when a game has begun, what we can do here is we can toggle this on after it's all been chosen. So we'll go ahead and highlight this whole row. And we can put a message here to toggle it on when game starts or game started. So when a game has started, it will toggle this back on to allow the spawning to come back. And they have individual messages here, so spawn A16, spawn A20, that sort of thing. So that's the messages we need to remember. And we need to send a message that game started once one has been spawned. So how do we do that? We do have a volume here that when it detects A20, it should have all of it here. Yes, it does. It sends a message TP hiders, so we'll use that later, but I can duplicate this. And what we can do here is we can have a timed event. We can use that message TP hiders. And we can send it to all after 2 seconds. We can send a message game started. All right. And we can put a message here, game started, just to make sure that message is being sent. And that's all good. And what it does is it toggles these asset spawners back on, which is what holds all of these. And then all we need to do is have something that detects a tag in front of us, which will be every other tag. And if it detects a hider, then it will spawn one of these on top of the hider, and they become a Seeker. And the cool thing about it is it's holding a pickable, and you can force that pickable to be held, which means that hiders won't be able to help other hiders, which is using keys. So you've got to pick up keys, take it to the right color lock to unlock that door. You can't do that as a hider. I mean, you can do that as a hider, but not as a seeker, because you're holding onto this, so the keys become no good. All right, let's go ahead and turn this to number 12. And number 12 will be exactly the same as number 11, except we're going to start detecting other tags to get them to spawn this thing here. So we're going to go ahead and do player 12 P1, and that's everyone in range. This one here will be the same thing, player 12 P2 and player 12 P2. And I think that's the only message I need to change, because all of these are based on radius. All right, now the next thing we need is the detection. So do we want to make it a key push? Probably. We can do that. And I don't know what would be most appropriate for this one. Would a speaker do? If it detects tag in front, would the toggle work? Do we want a second cooldown before grabbing again? So if they miss, you got a chance to jump over them or around them to get away because the grab didn't work. Or would that be an issue with multiplayer lag? Would that be a problem and be a not a good game mechanic and just have it detectable at all times? If we want to do detectable at all times, we can probably use a volume because it's the less resource heavy to use trigger volume. And what we can do here is we can change it to box, and we can make it 1 by 1 by 1, 2. We can have something like that. So if the piggy is too close, you will get caught. So I say something like this close would probably suffice. Maybe 1.5, just make it a bit wider. And make it a bit higher as well. Not too high, because you want to escape through stairs or something like that. Cool. And what we're doing here is we're going to do specific tags in range. And basically we want the tags that haven't been, will be everyone else really. We probably need to destroy and summon these spawners after each game. So when yours is spawned, it probably delete it so you don't spawn 2 of them in the match. Or we can have these spawners hidden under the map somewhere so they're not relevant to the gameplay. Something like that, right? So we have here spawn A20. So we'll probably need 20 of these, 1 for each player. We can have 19 if we don't want to add the actual player that's holding it, and that's fine. Just requires a bit more finesse. So here we have A1, and the message we want to send is spawn A1. So if we detect A1 tag, which I think is not the right tag, I think it's just 1. So if we detect 1, we want to send a message to spawn this, which is spawn A1. So we want 1, spawn A1. So we've got the spawn A1 correct. Need to change that. And this is now good. We could probably do this another way after we've created this. We can probably optimize it where, we probably can't actually. Oh, maybe we can. we could probably force all the hiders to be holding something, and when that held thing is detected by the piggy, then it spawns the thing on them. But again, it needs to be individualized if you want everyone to have their own cooldowns, so it gets a bit complicated, and we need to make it complicated, so we will do so. So what we'll do here is we're going to change the names of these to detect hider 1, and detect hider 2, and we just need to change the message to, we're going to spawn A2. Now when we duplicate, we're going to do number 3, and we want to basically do this for all 20. So we're going to detect tag 3, and we're going to spawn A3. Basically now this thing that we're carrying around, these will all be invisible once the product is complete. So when this volume detects the tag in front of them, it means the seeker has found the hider. It will send a message to their asset spawner, which causes the hider to spawn one of these for themselves and go on top of them, which means that now they are the seeker. So you can have forced seeking basically because of the pickable. So we can duplicate this. We'll make this one number 4. And that will be 4. Spawn A4. Duplicate. And we'll make this one 5. We want to detect tag 5 and then send a message spawn A5 when we do detect them. Duplicate. 6. We want to spawn A6 when we detect a tag 6. And we just go ahead and do that for all 20. And once that is done, we're able to duplicate this for all of them, so we don't have to rewrite these messages for all 20 of our holders, because we can just duplicate it, change the tag, and save over the preset. Save in time. And then again, we go ahead and spawn A8. Thanks for the ban there, Panda. I don't know how to do that. I thought Nightbot automatically bans spam, and when it didn't do it last stream, I just didn't know how to ban that person. So I just told people not to click the link. But yeah, thanks for that. All right, so we're halfway there with the detection part. I'll probably just copy that. It'll probably be faster. So duplicate that. Change that to 12. Change that to 12. And that. Change this to 13. 13. And just change the tag to 13. 14. 14. And change the tag to 14. You have mod access, but if you, no, I'll send you a little video on how to do it. Make sure you have access. All right, thanks for that. I prefer to get rid of the spam than leave it there. All right, I need to up my Twitch game as well. I got a lot of things to learn on streaming and best mods and entertainment and things like that. I will go through that process soon. I've almost finished my projects which will allow me a little bit more time to do little things like that. More education in how to stream. And have custom sounds and music and things like that would be really cool. All right, we've got spawn A18. We've got 2 more to make, and that will be the detection done. And the last one, okay. Whoops, the tag. I need to change the tag. All right, done. Now this one's for H12. I'll go ahead and save over H12. That should be our next thing that we are going to be allocated with our test. And what we're going to do here is we're going to do a detection and see if I can detect this character, which will have the tag A1, and see if it does spawn, if it does detect them and then spawn something on top of them. It probably won't spawn on top of them because it requires an interact message. Yeah, but we can still see if it does the detection though. So what I'll do here is I'll just double check if I saved over it. Sure it's all good. Delete, save. Now let's test. So basically what should happen now is I'll be player 12. We will do an RNG until 12 is rolled. It will spawn us that box that we just made, and then we can go ahead and detect this player over here, and it should spawn the first box for that player. So we are now local player 12. It's doing a random roll until it hits 12. This one's a bit of a long one. There we go. So we are now on 12. We have game has started, so that's good. So now I can push 1 to go faster. Oh no, I haven't set that up in the rules for player 12. But let's see if we detect this player here. It does not. So let me just double check to see if I did something incorrectly. It may have detected player and not tag. That may be the reason. Well, let's have a look. Specific tags in range, it's 12. So what I did is I just put it's meant to be just 1 or 2, 3, that sort of thing. Well, if it detects all 3, then it's no good. So that's my bad. Let's go ahead and make this one 13, which is the next one. We don't need to use the 1 and 2 keys. We just want to test the detection. So we'll go ahead and check out if the detection works this time. Because I put the wrong tag on him. It's not meant to be A1, it was just meant to be 1. Okay, so we've got our box. Game has started. Let's go ahead and detect. Okay, it has. It's detected and it spawned our box. Now, if that was an actual player, it will make that box go on top of them like what we have on ourselves, which then effectively makes them a seeker as well. They'll have the ability to speed themselves up, shoot a projectile to slow down the hiders if they can see them, and to detect other tags that are around them to also turn them into seekers. So far so good. And this box here can be anything. So I made a little trash can to be a minimalist when it comes to the avatar size. There's no arms and legs flopping around. So you can put anything above the player to be a seeker. I suggest using a T-pose PandaPops avatar, and she can be the one that seeks people around, hunting them down. And then you become a PandaPops as well when you're caught. I think something like that would be cool. We can probably make that happen. If I get this logic working in this week and next week, we can turn that into a little mini game. I think that'd be fun. So now we can detect the players, spawn the seeker role, and if they're an actual player, it will spawn on top of them because each player will have the interact being sent by the play sound on the avatar portal, which is the tag that I originally put of A1 when it's meant to be just 1. Cool. Awesome. So that part is done. We have a start game button. We're able to toggle these spawners back on. We're able to detect other tags in the environment. We're able to have cooldowns for speed boosts and shoot projectiles to slow down other players. And they have cooldowns as well, so they cannot be spammed. So far, so good. What else needs to be done? I'll think about it a bit more. I'm going to put on the news of the week, have a little break, and then come back and we'll continue. Be right back.
Jump right into it. First off, we have the Jab We Met avatars, which you can mint right now. Navigate to the mint page, click mint your avatar. They are 50 sand each. Make sure to have your wallet unlocked. Make sure to have your sand in your wallet. Select the amount of avatars you wish to purchase and then click buy. Next up, we have the solo leveling event. Make sure to go click and check that one out. Depending when you're seeing this news of the week, the theme has now been revealed. And then we have our avatar owner August rewards. This month is all about the ducks. Make sure to check out the events page that shows all the events currently happening right now. We also have a VoxEdit contest, Kevin DeRug. This is a scene-based contest, so within one asset you do need to create a little scene. So recreate Kevin going on an adventure somewhere in the world. Prize breakdowns, and you have until August 15th to get those submissions in. Part of the news of the week, this contest will have finished. Make sure to keep an eye over in Discord, creator announcements, as well as the @VoxEdit over on Twitter, where we announce all of our VoxEdit contests there too. Now for our mentions of the week. The first mention goes to Anna Joyce for the Bubble Blaster experience. They are running an event over the Builders Challenge as well. Multiple sand rewards for this event. Make sure to go check out Bubble Blaster. Next up, we have Pickaxe Master Misty Mountain. They're running numerous events. They have also partnered with other studios as well to run cool little initiatives for winning pickaxes. Make sure to have a good read of their About section that goes into detail about what they are doing. An amazingly detailed world that they have built here. Looks absolutely fantastic. Do go check it out. Our next experience is Retro Gaming Game Jam Ape Rage. Do go check this out. This is part of the Lion City Legends event as well. But really cool experience. As it says here, this was actually part of a game jam from quite a while ago now. Definitely do go take a look at it. It's a really, really cool experience. Moving on to some assets now. The Jamaican Cockroach by the John Crow. Absolutely amazing little creature right here. Numerous animations. I'm going to look at the technical specs. So parts of its size are as big as some of the avatars, which is absolutely terrifying. And its height is 1.4 meters high in the sandbox, which is almost to almost one and a half terrain cubes tall. So this is big. This is a big boy. For 42 sand. Our next mention goes to an equipment piece. This is a headwear, Shinobi Noodle headgear. Absolutely amazing. As you can see, it has little movements, little drips of ramen sauce, I'm guessing. We've got the chopsticks on top. I feel like a little beat on the bottom top of the hat bowl. Really cool, absolutely amazing. This was created by AU24K. Make sure to go check all of these artists and creators builders out. I'm also just going to scroll through the character section right now so you guys can have a little look at some of the characters that are currently up for sale, because there's so many amazing assets that definitely need to see a whole bunch. Absolutely beautiful assets. Right here, this weapon shop, 30 sand. Look at this. This is an official Sandbox asset, but oh my goodness, the detail. It's so pretty. This is just so pretty. That's only 30 sand as well. Amazing other assets right here. We've got a similar style to the other shop. We've got a library here. Just fantastic assets. Gothic chair. Oh, love these. Look at these crates. Look at these. Look at the detail. The texturing. There's a little bit of Z fighting there. That makes me a little bit sad. We'll work on that on a VoxEdit stream. How you can avoid that Z fighting, unless it's the desired choice that you're going for. This is really cool. This is a really cool asset by ChocoPunk. That is currently it for our news of the week. So now back to your regular scheduled content.
Alright, and we're back. Always pains me to see Z fighting on assets. Please check your Z fighting, guys. Really easy to fix. Really easy to fix. Alright, so next, well, we've basically got the abilities now for speed, for shooting, which causes slow, and to capture another player, so they're the seeker as well. We can put those mechanics aside and work on the next parts. So what we can do here is we probably need some props for this one, and I'll make this during the week. It's different colored keys and locks. So basically I want a key that's red, purple, green, gold, silver, and have the locks that match as well. So that way we can use the keys to open up certain doors. So having gold and silver locks would be great. And I'll probably make those during the week, so next stream we can set it all up. But basically what we want to do is have stuff that is pickable by the hiders. It can't be picked by the seekers because they're holding something constantly and they can't let go of that to pick up a key, so that's not a problem. And then you need to take that key to the lock, and then that will open up the door. Notice this grid's floating, not on ground level. It matches the key's elevation, never mind. So we can go ahead and give these two keys a pickable component. So we've got pickable, awesome. And what we can do here is with the pickable, we can have a message that gets sent on drop, or what we can do here is we can have gold key as a tag, and then have this one have a tag silver. And then we can have doors. I don't think we have gold doors or anything like that, so we'll just use generic doors for this example. They're meant to have locks on them, color-coded locks, so you can see which key goes where. but I'll do that next week. And what we can do here is we can, oh, we already got doors on this, that's great. And we can say open door to open up the door. And what we can do here is we can have a volume trigger, and it will detect the gold key whenever a player brings it nearby. So we can have a box 1 by 1 by 1. It's a bit uneven. You can see that the anchor point of this door is not center, so your box here is not center, but that's okay. That will do for this example. And what we can do here is just duplicate the door, so we don't have to put on the volume on the second one. And what we can do here is add a detect tag. So for this one here, we can detect the tag of the key, specific tags in range, and that will be gold key. And we can send a message open door, and we'll send that to the self. And I'll go ahead and delete that. And all we need to do is just change the tag it detects for this one as well. So we can go ahead and edit the logic and just change gold key to silver key. And that should open. So let's go ahead and test that part out. Just move the keys over here. I'll click save before we test. You have the issue of the plural as well, Panda. Yeah, so when I do my tags, I always have to go back. Did I make it this or that? Did I put the dot in between words? Did I have a capitalization? Plural? That's why it's good to stick with a method, but sometimes it's still hard to stick with a particular method. I always find myself going back as well. That's okay, that's normal. So you can see we picked up the key. If we take the gold key over here, which is the silver door, nothing is happening. Oh, did I drop the key? Yep. But if I take it to the gold door, as you can see, it opens up the door. I can make it as well that when I drop it, it only opens it when I drop it, and then I can delete the key after it's finished. So I'll go ahead and do that too, because that's probably a better method. So bring the silver key here. The thing is, if you drop it and you drop it beyond the wall or something, you can get stuck or you can lose it. That's why it's good to have it. Have it just detect it. And now when I pick up the key, it's not so far in front and too high. You can adjust those settings to make it so it looks more nicer, I guess, when the key is picked up. So you can see now it's right in front of me and it's not awkward. And when I drop it, it's dropped in front of me. So you can see that it's just opened a key, but I still got the key. Maybe you want the key to still be there after it's used. You might have multiple doors that require the same color key. So not killing it might be a good method. But if you did want to kill it and only open the door when it's dropped next to the door, I'll show you how to do that as well. So here on drop, you can say silver key dropped. And when the silver key is dropped, you can make it only, it only sends a message in this small area. So when silver key is dropped, instead of having a volume that detects the key and having that message open door, you can do silver key dropped instead. So when we drop the key, the message will be sent around the key, and if it's next to the door, it will open up the door. Let's just go ahead and test it out. So you can see nothing's happening, but when I drop it, now the key opens up the door. There's a different way of interacting with the door, whereas this one here is just being near it opens up the door. So there's two different methods there. If you want to delete the silver key after it's been used, so maybe you drop your key next to the door and it uses the key, all you need to do is add a plant. Plant component kills anything once the message is sent to it. So we can say kill silver key, and when that message gets sent, it will destroy that key. And what you can do here is when you edit the logic on the door, you can send a message on open. So we're going to send a message kill silver key, and we can just keep it tight because the key can't be anywhere further than that. So now we should be able to drop the silver key next to this door. The door opens and kills the silver key. So you're basically giving a key a one-time use. So this is a one-time use method. You can see the key is now gone and the door is now open. And that's our one-time use key. Or you can use this method where you can have the key be used for multiple doors. You can drop it and come back for another time. Might be another section that the key can be used in, that sort of thing. So this is going to be the basis of the gameplay of the hide and seek game. So we're going to have different color keys, different color door locks, and like opening up a door will give you access to different items and keys, and then you use those items to unlock other parts on the map. And basically what's happening is, as a hider, you're not just hiding, but you're looking for keys to get out. And you'll see the final door. The final door will need the end key, and to get the end key you need to unlock other rooms and do other things around the map to get to it. Once you have the final key and you unlock the final door and escape, you win. While you're trying to do all those tasks in between, you'll have the seeker who is looking for you. You will be running away, hiding, and there'll be points that you can access and get out of areas where the seeker can't get into. So you'll have like little hidey holes and vents that you can get through that the seeker cannot get into to give you a way out of certain areas. But the seeker will have their own advantages as well, such as speed and slow and things like that. So it's going to be a battle between you being able to do your tasks and getting out before the seeker is able to find you and stop you. And these are the mechanics we're going to be using for the game. So basically now we've got the keys and door mechanics and different ways to interact with them. That will be one thing, but I'll have more keys and door locks to make this more fulfilling and filled next stream. Now for the hiders, they all need to run away. They will all have their individual tags based on this. It would be nice if we had a feature in Game Maker where we can add tags to players and remove tags to players while the game is happening. If we had it as a component or a speaker where we can send a message to a triggering actor to add a tag to them. So that way I don't need to do these workarounds. What I can do is, if you're a hider, you have a tag that has hider. If you're a seeker, you have a tag that has seeker. And that way I can have one message for sending out. So one message for the thing that we're sending out. So this one here. So we've got all these different messages for the different spawns to detect the different tags. But if everyone had the same tag as hider, I wouldn't need 20 of these. I'll just need one that has the tag that it's looking for is hider. And when it's detected you, it will remove the tag hider and then add the tag seeker. And then I can attach abilities to that tag. I think that would be a better system, and I'm hoping that we can add some sort of function like that in the Game Maker in the future. Tag Zero, welcome to the stream. Rex Roach, welcome. You've asked, hey guys, sorry asking an unrelated to the stream. Is the maintenance still ongoing? I can't seem to save and publish my experience page. I'm not too sure about the experience page maintenance. I did read somewhere that it has concluded. So if you are having issues still, I will check to see if it's still a problem internally. And if it is, just give it a couple of hours. They might fix it soon. If it's an individual problem, that may not be good. We might need to open up a ticket on Discord to look into it. All right, what's next? What can I do next? I could probably build the level and block it out, and have these underneath the map. We don't want them on the same floor being seen. We want to hide that and be like a mechanical area underneath the map. And then when the player gets tagged, it spawns here and then puts it on top of the player. So you don't see any of these mechanics going on. Also, we want to select the player when a game begins. Right now, we just have the player going on top of this, detecting the tag, and then starting the RNG. We probably want to have more of a lobby system where players join the game. They get teleported to the game area after a time that gets ticked down, so maybe 30 seconds or a minute. It shuts off the game so no one else can join. Then the RNG system kicks in and picks one of the players to be the seeker. So we probably need to add the lobby system in. I won't do that on stream because I've done that multiple times. There's many streams of me doing a lobby system. So do check out the previous streams if you do want to see how that's done. Just to run down, it's basically the same thing. With the local variable, you have a collectible. The player picks it up. It teleports them into the battleground. It gives them a unique variable, and it adds one to players joined. Simple as that. But yeah, I think I'm going to make those gold keys, the colored keys and locks probably this weekend, and have that ready for next week's stream so we can actually build a level and put all of this into a gameplay aspect. If you agreed it's a good idea and use it and want credit, I have too much to do on my own learning. Okay, what do you have? Kevin is seeking friends. I haven't played it. Is that an actual experience? Or is that yet to be made? I don't know much about that Kevin DeRug thing yet, but I'll have a look into it. I know about the NFT and a weird looking NFT before it got rugged. Yeah, I know about the NFT itself. It's just a VoxEdit contest running. All right, there you go. Thanks, Panda. But yeah, you can use that for a lot of different experiences. You can have zombies. Obviously, that's the most common one. A zombie eats you, you turn into a zombie, and then zombies look for the other players that aren't zombies. There are many different ways to execute this. You can have prop hunts as well. So you can have the hiders not do quests, but to hide and be a prop. So you can push a number on the keyboard to be 10 different props. The props have to be quite large though, larger than the avatar, because there's a name above the head that needs to be hidden. So you need to have an asset that's bigger than the avatar, and that means the whole environment needs to have big assets. But now that we have hotkeys, the players can choose between 10 different assets to turn into and hide as. So there's plenty of different things you can do with this sort of setup and make hide and seek sort of games. It would also be good to hide the avatars' names above their heads, so players don't have that above their head and can basically blend in with the environment easier without needing having overblown assets. Things like that would be cool. But then again, I haven't tested it with small assets. So I made a small asset as a bin. I'm a little trash can here. If the name is just simply above the trash can, then I can turn myself into different assets without needing to worry about it being overblown. All you do is just force the avatar to be a small asset, and then you can have the same concept. So you have a pickable on the hiders, and the pickable can replace itself to look like another asset, and you can hide and blend in the environment. So there's different ways to execute this game idea. And this logic that I've shown here is quite complicated, but you need to make a lot more alterations and make specific things happen after this is done. So what I've shown you here is just the basics to set it up. Then you need to tweak the timings of it, when it gets executed, who gets to execute what. You need to delete things so players don't double up on the seeker asset. You need to be able to kill the seeker asset and respawn these spawners after each game. So once you have all of these logics set up, you need to start tweaking it to timings and flow, game flow pretty much. So the branding is that guy who got left behind and needs to find a friend. Go make some seek friends. Anyway, if you ever have time, I'll rewatch this episode. Yeah, no worries. I got quite a different episodes of where you could use this sort of idea that you're describing and use these sort of game mechanics to try to set it up. I'm a busy man, so I can't help you with that personally. But if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer questions to help you with your logic. But yeah, I hope that it goes well for you. I'm going to call it now. I want to stream a bit longer, but I'm gone brain dead and really tired from coffee withdrawals. If you ever gone off coffee, you get split in headaches and lack of concentration for like a few days, and I'm on the tail end of that. But what I need to do for next stream is have an environment set up, have doors and locks and keys set up and different quests, and then we can start doing game flow of having players be able to join a lobby, teleport them, have a seeker allocated, and then have an asset as a seeker as well. So it's not that box here, but it's an actual avatar or something that looks like that you should be running away from. Awesome. Yeah, lots of busy stuff happening inside the metaverse. Lots of things building. Alpha Season 4 is coming up, so I'm building something for Alpha Season 4. It's not my favorite type of game type, but it was challenging to put it together and do unique things that haven't been done before. So looking forward to finishing that off and showing you guys a 10-player obby elimination race with some unique mechanics in it. And yeah, Alpha Season 4 is a sandbox event where there's going to be heaps of different experiences. Players can complete quests and collect EP inside of it, and then you can get rewards based on playing games, basically. So it's showcasing the best of the brands and what the metaverse has to offer, and players can earn money, or sand, or whatever you want to call it, and prizes and things like that. So it's a big one. It should start sometime in September, if all goes well. Latest I'd say is October, but I think it's going to start in September if everything lines up. And then after Alpha Season 4, we should see Game Maker 0.11 be released. And 0.11 has some really cool new behaviors and components and features and things that really change how we're going to make games and how players will play the games, which is really cool. So yeah, reach out. I'm always on Discord, so if you ever want to contact me, I'm CyberDragon on Discord. You'll see me under the staff list, so just send me a DM whenever you need help or open up a ticket. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys, and yeah, have a good one. Take care. Let me see if there's anyone I can raid. Always forget this. Do we have anybody raiding? We got Andy Ritchie on.
Look at that.
So we're going to go and raid Andy Ritchie. An advert popped up. Let me see if I can do this. How do I do this? All right, let's do raid Andy Ritchie. Yep, let's enter. Oh, Panda did it too. Perfect. All right, so I don't click the leave button, do I? I just have to wait for it to go down. Is that how it works? I'm such a noob. Click raid now and I'll raid. There is no raid now, there's just leave. I think because you executed it, I think the raid now is on your screen, not on mine. Awesome. All right, see you there. Take care, guys. I think that's good.